name is Pierre. I am the Sweet Beet Farm manager, and we are in our microgreens room, which is also what we call our early nursery before we turn on the heat in our actual nursery. These are some of our early nursery plants, like some dill. These spinaches should be coming up soon. And all the way on the bottom, we have some of our celery that will be growing in high tunnels this year. Most of our crops this year, we are paper pot transplanting because of all the advantages of that. The paper pot actually significantly makes the whole process more efficient. First off, because we don't let starts grow as long, they actually spend way less time in a really valuable heated space like in here. Instead of growing starts for longer periods of time and keeping them inside that where they are taking up that valuable space, the paper pot allows us to just grow them for 3 weeks, and because we don't pull each single plant out by hand and disturb their roots and whatnot, they can actually be transplanted when they're way younger. So that's a huge saver for us in terms of space in the greenhouse and also how healthy the transplants end up being. However, there are some crops like the celery where we still use our 50 cell flats. It needs a little bit of light, and it can take up to 6 weeks sometimes to germinate is how long I've seen it take. And then they'll be in these 50 cell flats for maybe a month, and then I'll probably pot them up and put them into some bigger pots so that they can grow into some really significantly big plants. Because the celery is just much less vigorous when it's growing at the early stages. The other thing is, as you can see right here, how flimsy and the type of plastic that these flats are. And these will only last, man, it depends obviously how well you handle them, but they will fall apart very quickly, and they're not, I would say a 50 cell flat, maybe you can get 3 seasons out of it if you're lucky, and then you have to just throw them out. The paper pot flats are infinitely better in terms of the rigidity. I can pick this whole entire flat up with one hand. This plastic is like it's much higher quality plastic, which means that it will last a lot longer, meaning that we won't have to buy as many flats. This flat should at least last 10 to 15 years. There's also less plastic in between this. The flat itself is entirely made out of this biodegradable paper, and so there's not any plastic within the flat. It's an open flat versus a 50 cell flat. And so that should reduce significantly the amount of plastic that we're using on the farm, especially for flats.